Alright, welcome back to Terrible at Fishing. Now, I'm going to do a comparison between one very common clear coat on a bait and then a brand new one. So let's stay tuned. Well, welcome back to Terrible at Fishing. Well, we're going to compare two clear coats. One is a very, very common one that I've been using called KBS. Now, KBS is a very simple clear coat. I mean, for the most part, I just dip it in there and it's done. It's one step, one easy dip, and it really does give a very good coat. Well, something that I've been wanting to try is an epoxy. An epoxy is a two formula clear coat. There's the epoxy and then there's a hardener. You may know this from if you've done cars and stuff like that, like Bondo and stuff like that. Epoxy is, and adhesives, it's two parts. So there's a hardener with an epoxy. Well, a lot of the ones have been UV cured and stuff like that, and I just didn't want to spend for a UV oven, type thing. Well, Lurecoat is a company that has come out with a proprietary formulation that doesn't require UV. And it costs pretty much the same as KBS. So, I gave it a shot. So let's look at them. Here's two baits that I've done with them. And one of them is a lipless crank. Oh, sorry about that. The green screen. Good thing I got this in the back. And the other one, woohoo! You're not going to see that because it's green. Both of them were done with, the green one was done with KBS. There it is. KBS. And the other one was done with Lurecoat. Now, Lurecoat, like I said, is a two-part epoxy. So you've got the epoxy and you've got the hardener. And it's a 1-to-1. And you got it. It isn't really very, very simple. It's not as simple as dipping it. But what you do is you brush it on with I use a disposable brush. And disposable brushes are really cheap. So after mixing it, you stir it for 3 to 5 minutes in order to activate and get it all thoroughly mixed. Then you brush it on. Now, I've done it a couple times, and it takes about 12 hours to cure to dry to touch. 36 hours to fully cure. It's about the same with KBS. So, let me just tell you my initial impressions with them. The Lurecoat dries with a better wet look to it, so it's shinier than that of the KBS. It is a thicker. Now you brush it on really thin, so how it's thicker than something you dip. Go figure. But it actually is. It's a thicker coat on it than that of the KBS. Epoxy also is a harder substance than KBS. Now KBS is a fine clear coat used in automobiles, things. I mean, it's a really good clear coat. I'm not knocking it because I use it and I love it. And it's simpler, it's easier to just dip and hang. This, a better look and a harder shell. So, I'm going to still use both until my KBS is completely run out. Why not? And the epoxy, it's a little, Yeah, it's a little hard because you're brushing it and stuff. But in the end, it's a little tedious to brush it. But it is self-leveling. There are no air bubbles on it. There's no air bubbles on it. So it looked like, after mixing it, because there's a lot of air bubbles in the epoxy. That's not true with this. So whatever air bubbles were in it, they left it. It's really, really a very good clear coat. And like I said, it costs almost the same as KBS. Except with this, you're going to use less of it. So with the Lurecoat, you're going to mix only, I only mix a few milliliters, okay, to do quite a number of baits. A half a dozen baits. 5 milliliters will do a dozen baits for me. So a little goes a long way, so never over mix. Once you mix it, you can use it after you stir it for 3 to 5 minutes. It gives you about a 45-minute work time to use it all up. So what I usually do is I'll make lots of baits, and then I'll mix what I think is enough. And believe me, I did a half a dozen baits today. 3 milliliters was more than enough for the half a dozen baits. 3 milliliters. This stuff will go a long way. Lure Build, go to lurebuild.com. There it is, lurebuild.com. Again, this is made in the USA. A 1-to-1 mixture. It's really good. If you make lures, this really is one of the best things on the market that is brand new. I think it's been on the market for a month. And James, the owner of Lure Build, he came up with the formulation. And look forward to other videos of this, because we're going to try to destroy one of these in an upcoming video. The difference between a Lure Build shell and a KBS shell. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and please hit subscribe, like below, and enter this month's drawing. This month's drawing is a shirt. It's a really nice shirt, Terrible at Fishing shirt. You'll get a sticker with the shirt. You will see my lures in local stores. There is Parker's Rod and Gun here in Klamath Falls, as well as Lake of the Woods Marina, and maybe one more store I'm going to work on. So look for these in stores, or just email me. Be happy to send you some. So thank you very much, and you know where you'll find me, either out on the water or bam, in my little painting studio. So please take care and have a great day.